Hi, I'm just home from surgery. Been home for a little while, and it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon on my surgery day for my robotic hysterectomy, and I'm home already, which is pretty amazing. I thought maybe it would be one overnight at the hospital, but nope, didn't need the overnight. There are some things I want to share for those of you who might be getting a robotic hysterectomy in your future. One surprise to me was when they woke me up after the surgery. I had really bad cramps. It feels like if you had really bad cramps as a teenager when you would have a period. I did. I would spend my first day of my period on the bathroom floor throwing up and with extreme painful cramps. And that's what it reminded me of. And when I told him I was a little bit nauseous, the nurse put more things in my IV to take the nausea away. So that was really helpful. So I never did throw up, but the cramps were really pretty intense. And they asked, I don't know I'm not sure how long I was in recovery. What, a couple hours, Jeff? Maybe
No.
3? No?
No.
Less?
I think it was almost maybe 2 hours.
Okay. So almost 2 hours in recovery. And then they said, would you like to go to the bathroom and pee? And I said, sure, let's give that a shot. And they handed me my bag of clothes. And I said, you want me to put my clothes on to pee? And they said, after you pee, you get to put on your clothes and you get to go home. I was like, really? So I said, I'm still in a lot of pain with cramps.
They told me, oh, she can't go home until she passes the test of passing some pee.
Yeah.
Actually, to empty your bladder.
Yeah. So I went into the bathroom and I was able to pee. And then I put on my clothes. And they did say that it's hard for them to take away the pain that's cramps pain. So anyway, I went home and a few nice surprises, how incredibly small the incisions are. I think my knife fight looks smaller than Jeff's knife fight from his bladder cancer surgery that he had just a few months ago. I'm going to show you my stitches. I only have 4. Can you see that? There's one there.
Okay.
One in my belly button.
Okay.
And then 2 my side. One here. Where's the other one? Oh, and right here. And what's funny, these right now, but when I came home, they said as soon as I get home, I could take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. That was my biggest help. Oh my gosh. That helped take away some of the cramps. I'm also very blessed. I have a neighbor who's a recently retired nurse practitioner, and Judy came over when Jeff had to leave to get my medication at the hospital. I still had at the pharmacy. I'm sorry, not the hospital. See, I'm still under anesthesia, so I'm still not 100% myself.
Yeah, but
so
how can I tell?
Yeah, so you have to pardon me for that, but I wanted to share, especially for other people who are going to have this surgery, to know what is it really like. So anyway, I had a surgery a month ago where they did a D&C and took out some polyps out of my uterus, and that's how I knew I needed a hysterectomy, because they came back kind of precancerous. So I had to have all my stuff taken out, and I did have everything. So they took out, with just those 4 little scars, or there'll be scars later, but those 4 little slits, I got my ovaries out, my fallopian tubes out, my uterus out, and my cervix, everything. But with that robotic surgery, it's just amazing with just those 4 little slits. And anyway, so that was a surprise and those didn't hurt even when I was having gas pains. My incisions didn't hurt, and they still don't. I still having cramps, but it's not near as bad as it was at the hospital because taking 800 of the ibuprofen
Milligrams.
helped. And I still had some 600 tablets that they gave me from my last surgery a month ago. So I had that on hand. So I took one 600 and then just an over-the-counter 200 to make my 800 before Jeff left me to pick up the 800 tabs at prescription at my pharmacy, and also to pick up some Percocet that they gave me. And so anyway, by the time he came home, and my neighbor, I'm so sorry, I think I'm getting there. My neighbor who came over, who's the newly retired nurse practitioner, she brought me a heating pad, and that was helpful. And she told me I said, how am I having cramps if I don't have a uterus? Because it just feels like uterine cramping, but I don't have a uterus anymore. And she said, it's the gas. They fill your chest cavity, all of this.
When they do robotic surgery.
With robotic surgery, they have to fill it up with air.
So they get a little space to do their work.
Yeah, and so it's the gas that's trapped inside there. And she told me to walk as much as I can, not super fast, but be walking around the house, and taking those steps will help ease the gas pains and will help to release the gas. And she said, fart whenever you can. And I'll tell you, I haven't farted yet. I've been hoping that I'll fart at some point. And then I called my mom, who's also a retired nurse practitioner, but she retired a few years ago. And she told me that 7-Up would be good. And even though I'm diabetic, go ahead and have a little 7-Up with sugar. And so when Jeff was at Costco, he didn't find 7-Up, but he found Sprite. And I've had 12 ounces of Sprite. And that's been really lovely. I'm not drinking it fast. I've been sipping it slowly. But I've been able to belch a couple of times, and that felt good to relieve a little bit of gas that way. And I know some of it's just the gas from the bubbles, but I think it took a little bit more gas with it, and that made me feel a little better. So, and that's been another surprise. Not the belching's not a surprise, but the surprise that I can walk okay. So hey Jeff, can I just walk this way? And I can show, look, I can walk. I don't need a cane or a walker. I don't need to hold anybody's hand.
But you don't want to overdo it either.
Yeah. And they said, you'll know you're overdoing it if you start bleeding.
You know what? We want to get there.
And I don't want to get there. But look, that's some pretty good walking for...
Just had surgery.
Yeah, the surgery started, and they were really on time. They wheeled me out at 7:30 in the morning to the robot room.
What's the robot's name again?
Oh, they named the robot Leo because he's a Da Vinci robot. And so it's like Leo da Vinci, I guess. Leonardo da Vinci. So they named the robot Leo. And everybody at the hospital, gosh, they were just the kindest nurses. And I love my doctor. He was very, very, very kind. And he even came out and talked to Jeff a little bit. And he didn't mention cancer to you, though,
nope,
right?
Nope, he did not.
He didn't mention it. So that is a good thing, because he was going to tell us if there was big tumors in my...
If he saw them.
He saw them. But he can't say there's no cancer until all of my stuff goes to the lab and they can look at everything with a microscope and stuff, and then we'll know for sure. But it also means I don't have big flaming cancer, because he would have told Jeff in the waiting room.
Yeah.
So those are all good things. I want to thank everyone who's prayed for me. That's just been huge. I really appreciate it. And I physically right now am in a lot less pain than I was in the recovery room after surgery. Today. So I think the walking and the heating pad and especially the ibuprofen, because by the time Jeff came home with the Percocet, the ibuprofen was already starting to take effect, and I'd already done a lot of laps around the living room and kitchen. And I
Not running.
We're definitely not running laps.
Good.
But it's in some ways not as bad as I thought, and except for the gas. The gas was worse than I thought. The cramping was worse than I thought, but the walking and stuff is a lot better. And I'm gonna do I'll do another little video on day 2 and day 3 and day 4, and we'll see the progression. But I should be feeling a lot better after that, I'm hoping. And it's still 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks recovery for all the stuff on the inside. But I'm gonna be okay. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Hold on to your anchor moments. Bye-bye.